What's going on, YouTube family? Today we're going to be talking about why so many Americans are delinquent in their auto loans. Now, I've been talking about the auto loan crisis for 2 years now, and people don't believe me that this is a major deal and it's going to have major ramifications for the next 5 to 7 years because they did a lot of extremely bad lending from 2020 to 2023. Now, this will have an effect because the average auto loan is about 4 to 5 years long. So you got to put up with all these bad loans, and banks have all this risks to basically dump out of their system before they can go back to traditional lending. So even if the Fed decides to drop the rate, it's going to be dropped a little bit, but a lot of people that are either subprime or right on the cusp of prime are going to still have to pay overrated prices for interest because they have to make up for all the losses the banks do. Now, every time a bank is basically desperate or has losses, they have to change their risk model. And how do they do this? By charging regular people or people that actually make their payments higher interest, along with higher interest for people that tend to be more risky. And this basically affects the whole credit market. And this is where we're at today. And this is why I'm setting the stage. Now, traditionally, so many people always get out of their auto loans. They either trade them in for new cars, they kick the can down the road, they refinance, they keep extending it. But this is one of the major reasons why I think there are so many Americans delinquent. Now, one of the first ones is because they owe way too much money on a car that's simply not worth it. Now, if your car is basically, let's say it's worth $30,000 and you owe $45,000, most banks and credit unions will not refinance you because you're over the LTV limit, loan to value. So you either have to pay that down so you can refinance your loan, extend your payments, and hopefully get some breathing room. And that's what's happening right now. I get hundreds of messages every single month of people telling me, hey, where can I refinance? Where can I do this? And unfortunately, a lot of these people are not going to be able to do that because they are so upside down in their cars. Another way are people are so used to doing kind of fun, tricky financing where they get into a car, they get buried, and then all they do is go out, trade it in for a new car, extend those payments, and kick the can down the road. Well, now at the current lending market, they are not lending crazy amounts of money like they used to. So if you're basically upside down in your car and you expect the dealer to take all that money and put you upside down in the next car and kick the can down the road, it's not happening. I've talked to a majority of dealers, and I'd say about 50% of the deals they kick out are people that are overextended or upside down in their trade-ins. Dealers are losing hundreds of deals every single month, and it's crazy because there's nothing we can do to help these people because they're buried so far deep. Now, this is proof showing that the actual Kelley Blue Book values are dropping. I get this over and over again that people are like, oh, Lucky, the prices are too high, everything is too expensive. Half of you guys are right, half of you guys are wrong. If you look at the used cars index that Manheim has, you can see that prices have dropped 28% in the last 18 months. We're on pace to hopefully be back to normal by next year, fingers crossed. Now, one of the things that's going to affect the market the most is people that are stuck with basically overpriced vehicles. So every time you look on Facebook Marketplace or Auto Trader and you see somebody asking over retail for their car, more than likely they actually owe that much money on the vehicle and they're trying to sell it for exactly what they owe. I've even reached out to numerous people when I saw deals on Facebook, Craigslist, and OfferUp, and unfortunately, majority of the people I was talking to were like, hey man, I'm selling this and I'm losing $5,000 because I'm putting $5,000 out of my pocket to make the price this low because I can't get rid of it. And this is a really staggering thing. So currently right now, there's over $2 trillion worth of auto loans. We are the second highest loan amounts. We just passed student loan when it comes to debt-wise. Now, this is just the loans that are registered with banks and financial institutions because they have to actually report this to the government. But I'm telling you now, there are millions of cars on the road that are financed through title loan companies, personal loans, buy here, pay here dealers, and other types of third-party financing that are not regulated and have to share those numbers. So that number is even higher than the numbers I'm telling you today. So every month we hit a whole new record high, 30 days delinquent, 60 days delinquent, 90 days delinquent, all-time record high with average deficiency, all-time high with people being upside down. So every single month we keep hitting these new milestones of all these reports saying that Americans are basically just way in debt. They owe too much money on their cars. They're basically screwed. And unfortunately, I know a lot of people that are literally just, they stop making payments on their cars because they're like, it's not worth it. I'm just going to let it go back to the bank. Whenever they take it, they take it. Remember the 2008 housing crisis? For years on this channel, I said that we're going to have something similar where car values are going to drop so much. People are going to look at what they owe compared to what they could buy that exact same car today for. Perfect example is any truck, Jeep Wrangler, or SUV that you can find out there now. It's way under MSRP. And on top of that, used prices have been dropped dramatically. So if you want one of these vehicles, you can get a good deal on one. But a lot of these people that purchased, like these G-Wagons, paying $100,000 over MSRP. Some of these people are buying Hyundai Palisades, $40,000 over MSRP. New Mustang Dark Horses, $25,000 to $35,000 over MSRP. Broncos, that was another one. I actually wanted to buy a Bronco, but there wasn't a dealer here in Las Vegas that would sell me one for under $30,000 over MSRP, which is absolutely insane. Now these things are everywhere. They're all over CarMax and Carvana lots. You can get whatever color you want, whatever options for pretty much next to nothing. So now that this market is totally turned, it's really putting pressure on the actual banks to get rid of their vehicles. Now, every week I go to the auction, and this is one thing that I really want to stress to you guys. When I go and I try to bid on cars, there's nothing worse than what's called an if bid. Now, if I bid on the car and I'm the high bidder, it's considered an if, or they have to wait to confirm with the owner if they'll accept my price. That just lets me know that they put a really high reserve on this vehicle. The last 20 vehicles that I bidded on, all of them were on ifs, and all the reserves were thousands of dollars higher than what I actually was bidding. The very last one was a Tundra. It was a pretty good deal. I thought okay, I bid on it. I paid a little bit much, but it's a nice rig. They were $7,000 more for the reserve than what I wanted to pay. There was another Mercedes that we were looking at that I was buying for a friend. They were $20,000 more than what I was as the high bidder. Now, the reason why MMR and a lot of these market things adjust is because whatever the dealers are willing to bid, because we're setting the market. Every time we overbid for a car or we underbid for a car, that's what sets MMR, which is wholesale auction prices. Now, for some reason, I see a lot of cars going cheap, but I don't see MMR going down, because I honestly believe this whole thing's a cahoots and they're doing it just to keep the prices up. But we're watching cars go through and they just keep going no sales. No sales, no sales, no sales. And every time they do, they go right back in line and run back through next week. And I keep bidding on these things, and every week it gets lower and lower and lower. But do they lower their prices? Of course not. They keep them high, or if not, sometimes they actually raise them up. I see these things on OVE, which is an auction site that basically sells cars for almost retail. And every time I look at it, these cars are literally going for over retail price. If I buy that car and try to sell it to one of you guys, I can't, because no bank will give me 135% on a vehicle like that unless you have an 800 credit score and you're putting a decent payment down. But that's the way these banks are thinking. So now banks are in a really bad spot, because they need to issue new auto loans to outrun these bad auto loans, because all these loans are coming due. And with these record high delinquencies and deficiencies and defaults, they have nowhere to go. But since they're having so many at one time, every single bank has pulled their purse strings, and every dealer I talk to is like, man, I can't get this customer funded. 6 months ago, this customer would have been easy. A year ago, I would have got this guy like an $80,000 car. I can't get him into a $25,000 car. It is that tough out there. Now, if you look at some of the news that's coming out of like Nissan, Hyundai, Ford, they're literally screaming that they cannot sell a car. I saw a funny thing in the Global Times. If you could sell 35 Volkswagens, brand new ones, you'll be a top dealer in the United States. This is a really embarrassing number. Usually that number is like 200, 300 vehicles. But if you can sell 35 brand new Volkswagen cars, you can be a number one dealer here in the United States. So that just shows you that there literally is no demand. The market is not there. And the biggest thing I've talked to consumers, and every time I talk to you guys, is the prices. The cars are simply not worth it. So why are Americans that are already struggling with bone-crushing debt? Because remember, it's not only auto loans. We're talking about record high credit card debt, record high rents, record high mortgages, record high student loan debt, and now I'm trying to sell them a Volkswagen for $45,000. It's just not going to happen. So there's only one way we can go. It's basically they either got to lower prices or restructure a lot of loans, which I know they're not going to. Now, there's been a lot of chatter of auto loan forgiveness. I made a funny video about that. It's never going to happen. I know that the government is trying to do some sort of tax incentive where you can actually put on your taxes that you're being basically taxed at 15% interest, and you will get up to $15,000 back. I don't know if that's going to pass. That's something that's floating around in a bill. But a lot of these things keep popping up over and over again, that they're trying to figure out how do we get Americans out of here and get them spending more money. Because I know it sounds funny, dealerships play a major part in every local economy. Majority of your sales tax in your state, believe it or not, comes from dealerships. You can go shopping at the mall and ball out of control and spend $5,000. But every time you buy a 10, 20, 30, 40, 60, $100,000 car, that massive amount of sales tax goes straight to your state to fund all types of government programs and other things like that. So when their main tax shelter or main tax income maker is basically not selling any cars, not bringing anything in, it hurts everybody all the way around. I've seen dealers close up. I've seen banks basically start firing people, their bank reps, laying off loan originators and hiring more collection specialists because that's just the way the market's going. So my advice to you guys is if you're looking at buying a car, be extremely shrewd negotiating when it comes to buying the car. Make sure you have your finances already lined up before you get there. I've said it a million times. I hate it when you guys like, oh, I asked them to give me 20 grand off. They said no. Write a letter, send a fax, get a copy of an approval from your bank, get a copy of a cashier's check, show up there 2-3 times. You tell them that you're super interested, you're ready to drive this car away. They got to know that you're ready to pull the trigger. Me calling you and saying, hey, can you give me 5 grand off on this car and I'll take it? They're going to tell you no every single time. Get off your ass, go down there and show them that you're interested and you're serious about the car. If you show up to my dealership with a check and you're like, hey man, I want 3 grand off the car. Here's, a $30,000 check, no stress. I drive the car out of here. I'd do it because I'm like, especially right now, I'm not selling shit. And you can see it if you go to your local car markets. You will see probably the exact same cars in front of there. Now, they tried the whole thing of, FOMO, oh my God, tariffs are going to raise the prices of cars. That failed. Dealers are sitting on very thin inventory, and a lot of it's over 100 days old. If you can take a look at Car Gurus and look and sort by the oldest car first for what you're looking for, that's where you're going to find the deals. Don't try to buy the car that just pulled up on the lot 2 days ago and offer them, $5,000 less. They're probably not going to do it because it's a brand new car. But the car that's been sitting there for 90 days, 100 days, I just talked to a guy in Texas. He made an offer on a truck that's a 2020, I think 3 brand new Dodge. They told him no 4 times. They just called him back this weekend and gave him an even sweeter deal because they had to get it off their books because they're basically getting crushed by the dealer. Now, and also a lot of the OEMs will penalize franchise owners if they don't sell like these new used units. So if the cars are 2024 and all the 2025s are out, you see some of these Mustangs and Chargers that are out here that are 2023s, you could literally get them in trouble if you bug them and you call the factory rep because they are forced to push those. They cannot sit on those things because it makes the dealership look really, really bad. But anyways, if you have any questions or comments, please come in the comment section below. Are you guys having trouble with your auto loans? How is the market affecting you? I know a lot of you guys are complaining about increased insurance prices, increased other things like gas, materials, labor, just everything. Like it's getting more costly to afford a car. So even though you could afford that car in 2020, today with your rent doubled, gas doubled, your insurance doubled, it's getting it much harder to afford. So anyways, and we'll see you guys next time.